Hello, my lovely Wolfpack, and welcome back to the nightly edition of the Lone Wolf Show, brought to you by Wolfpack Media, the most entertaining place on YouTube for your news and commentary. I'm your host, Justin Huseman, founder and news contributor. We have a great show today, and I can't wait to get started, but before we do, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to our channel. Join the pack today. Alright, guys, so I'm really sorry that I've been really late on these videos today. I'm just gonna chalk it up to basically we just have really slow internet. So it's all about the uploading time, the time it takes to actually upload the video, and the editing and all that. But I do apologize, and I will be trying to fix that and get these shows on a little bit better of a schedule for you guys. So I do apologize, and we will work on trying to fix that here. But anyway, I digress. Let's get to the news. So the story today is Democrats in Albany, New York seem to be signing off on a bill that will allow New York officials access to a fund to cover their legal bills. They are seeking to create a sort of shield that if the federal government comes after them, these New York officials, they want taxpayers in New York to cover their legal defense. I don't know how you guys over here in New York keep voting for this bullshit, but I guess if that's your prerogative, you guys want to foot the bill for the legal defense of your officials when they do something illegal. That shit's crazy, but I will say this, ladies and gentlemen, this is what corruption looks like. So, bad actors within our government using our system and our taxpayer dollars to commit crimes, and then when the federal government tries to come in and hold them accountable, they dog the system and create laws specifically tailored to avoid that accountability. And on top of all that, they want to make you, the taxpayer, foot the fucking bill. These people are evil, evil people, abject evil. Anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at the news here. From the New York Post, Albany sneaks in budget language that would put New York taxpayers on the hook for Tish James. Oh, Big Tish James. Tish James legal bills if she's probed by the Trump admin. I don't know how we get to this point, man. I really don't. Like, literally, if you guys remember that they actually, they keep, like, tailor making these laws to fit specific, like, areas within the New York government. like when they came after Trump in the first place, they made this new, they weren't able to come after him for what they wanted to come after him for, because it supposedly, the story goes, the thing that they wanted to charge them with over there in New York, that I don't even remember what it was. It had something to do with like real estate fraud or something like that. It was bullshit, because even if they wanted to charge him with it, it had exceeded the statute of limitations for what they wanted to charge him with. So what does the New York government do? The New York government decided to create a law specifically tailored to this real estate law that would allow them to come after Trump. Like, and now that Trump is in office and he's coming after this lady that came after him, now they're making a new law that would make you, the taxpayers over there in New York, it would make you guys pay for her legal defense. So she does something wrong, and you guys have to pay for it. You guys have to pay for her to get a defense. And which I could imagine is basically just unlimited money, is what it looks like to me here. Anyway, let's go ahead and read this article. Taxpayers could be on the hook for New York Attorney General Letitia James's legal bills during Justice Department probes into her alleged fraudulent real estate dealings, the Post has learned. And another thing I want to point out before I read the rest of this real quick, that the same like real estate fraud or whatever, that I want to point this out, the very same things that they were trying to charge Donald Trump with, they're this the lady that tried to charge him with these things, she is now being charged with the same real estate. I believe it's the same charges, the same real estate or fraud charges or some shit like that. But it's the hypocrisy of these asinine people, dude, never ceases to amaze me. It never ceases to fucking amaze me. These fucking people are so fucking out of their goddamn mind that they will. And it comes right out of what's that book that I always tell you guys about? Rules for Radicals, dude. Go check that book out. I really implore you to read that book, Rules for Radicals, where it goes on. It's like this communist manifesto that it goes on to tell you that whenever you're taking on your enemies or whatever, that you always, whatever you're doing, you have to, if you're doing something messed up, I'm paraphrasing here. So basically, if you're doing something really wild and nuts that you're not, that you're not supposed to be doing, it tells you to blame your enemies or accuse your enemies of doing the things that you yourself are actually doing. And this really comes right out of this book, and I find it really funny. I've probably mentioned it before, but I'm going to mention it again, just because I think it's funny little bit of information for you guys to know that Hillary Clinton actually did her college thesis on that book. So just a little fun little political trivia there for you guys. Anyway, I'll read on. Albany Democrats are expected to sign off on a provision allowing certain officials to tap into a $10 million fund to cover any reasonable attorney's fees and expenses incurred, even as part of probes not directly related to their state employment. So even if they're like being charged like in a personal capacity, not just as their official employment, whatever. It's a lot of legal jargon that I know nothing about, but hey, I'm just a guy that bitches on the internet. But so even if they're being like sued or something in their own personal capacity, they could still use taxpayer money to pay for their defense, and at least that's what it's looking like here as I'm reading it. The language is being slipped into New York's operations budget bill, one of several expected to be made public and voted on starting Wednesday as the legislature moves to pass next year's fiscal plan. Multiple sources told the Post that the specific language in the bill would apply to James's looming legal fight. Yeah, no fucking shit. It's almost like they're trying to make this law for this specific situation. They can't have the prosecutor that went after Trump going to jail for the exact same thing she was trying to put Trump in jail for. You know how terrible that would look? And God forbid if Letitia James has to pay for her own legal defense. No, that would be such a horrible thing. We're taking pennies from millionaires. Fuck, we can't have that. These people are fucking disgusting. New York Republican State Committee Chairman Ed Cox quickly lashed out over the move to slip a legal bailout to James, calling it an outrageous abuse of power and a slap in the face of every New Yorker. And I totally agree. This is a slap in the face to every American, dude. This is absolutely disgusting to me. The officials in New York State have literally no shame, dude. They have no shame. These people are straight up communists, dude. Straight up, dude. I'm tired of like holding my tongue with these motherfuckers, dude. They are commies. They're fucking commies. They're commies dressed as socialists. All right. Anyway, this is what corruption looks like in plain sight. Political insiders rigging the system to protect their own, while hardworking families get shortchanged. No shit, he said in a statement. Tish James used her office to wage partisan lawfare against her political opponents, and now New Yorkers are footing the bill for the consequences. Under New York law, current and former state employees can be reimbursed for legal fees to defend themselves against lawsuits directly related to their work while in office, such as in the case with former Governor Andrew Cuomo, whose various scandals are estimated to have cost taxpayers $60 million and counting. Jesus Christ. Which I think all of that should be illegal as well. Why are taxpayers footing the bill when some government employee does something wrong? Fuck you, dude. Jesus Christ. We really need to, like, this is what happens when government gets too big, guys. Like, this is why we need such a like, too many laws. There's so many laws. I didn't even know this. I didn't even know that taxpayers had to foot the bill for legal defense for government employees that do something illegal. Why the fuck should I have to pay for them when they do something like they should at the very least have to like pay for their day in court. Like you have to pay for your own attorneys and shit, dude. This is fucking such utter bull crap. I can't believe that we as Americans let this shit happen, dude. We let this shit happen by being complacent and having our fucking heads in the sand. I had no idea that this is how our government operated. And that's the problem, dude. Like, we should be teaching kids about this shit in school, dude. There's no reason that even an everyday average American like me shouldn't know how this shit works. This is bullshit. Anyway, I'll read on. But the provision in the bill is specifically geared to benefit state employees who, as a result of their jobs, are subjected to discriminatory or retaliatory treatment by the federal government. Shut the fuck up, you fucking idiots. While the bill language shared with the Post doesn't mention James by name, it indicates state employees could be covered if the legally compulsive process was initiated by the feds after, and it says after January 1st, 2025, meaning following President Trump's election. Yeah. So basically, yeah, we know exactly what this means. Anybody with a goddamn brain knows exactly what they're trying to do here, dude. The bill would cover those who obtained representation by private counsel in response to any request, summons, command, subpoena, warrant, investigative interview, or document request. Audit or legally compulsive process started by the feds after that date as a result of their state employment or duties. Oh, Jesus. James, who infamously declared that no one is above the law, except for fucking her, apparently, when she was prosecuting Trump over his business dealings, was hit with a DOJ criminal referral for instances of alleged mortgage fraud last month. She has claimed the referral is meritless and part of a revenge tour initiated by the president over her bringing civil fraud charges against him. Yeah, whatever, bitch. Get the fuck out of here. Ooh, it's not warranted. I just committed mortgage fraud. It's okay if I do it. Rules for thee, but not for me. These fucking pieces of shit, dude. I'm sorry, but it makes my blood boil when I read this shit, guys. All right. James plans to rely on both state funds and private legal defense funds to fight the battle. So she's not going to be paying for any of this out of her own pocket. Piece of fucking shit. You piece of fucking shit. A spokesperson for the AG's office confirmed. Like, this bitch at the very least needs to just resign and have that be that. But I don't think that the New York government is going to allow that, because they need her to basically make these charges against Trump stick after the fact. Donald Trump promised a vicious revenge tour when he ran in 2024. No, the fuck he didn't. Shut the fuck up. And he's put Attorney General James on top of that list, and we're ready to respond to these attacks, her rep said Wednesday. Shut the fuck up. Oh my god. You see these people, they try to fucking trick you, dude. I swear to God. Like, the court of public opinion matters sometimes, guys, and we should not allow these people to get away with their bullshit just because they're like I'm getting too far off. I gotta keep reading this. I'm running out of time already. Donald Trump, the Democrat in particular, has been the subject of Trump's ire after she marshaled a civil fraud trial against him and his Trump organization that ended with a $454 million judgment, which was absolutely ridiculous. I would really encourage you guys to look into that whole case, because it was bullshit. I don't want to get too much into it here, but we all know that it was complete and utter horseshit. If you look past all the legal jargon, Trump didn't do shit wrong, and they were just trying to arrest him before he could get elected to president. Federal Housing Finance Agency Director William Polt sent a letter to U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi on April 14th, asking her to investigate and consider prosecuting James, alleging she falsified bank documents and property records. He alleged James falsely listed a home in Virginia in her principal residence. Records show that James was listed as a co-borrower on a house being purchased by her niece. Her high-profile attorney, Abby David Lowell, claimed in a fiery letter to Bondi April 24th that the Trump administration cherry-picked information against James and called Polte's request for the DOJ to prosecute his client for mortgage fraud, improper political retribution. Whatever, man. Whatever. This is pure corruption, guys. If we allow lawmakers to do this communist style governing, America as we know it will fall. Mark my fucking words. So once again, this shit starts, I've said it once and I'll say it again. This shit starts at the local level, and we need to be keeping ourselves informed. We have a duty, a responsibility, to keep ourselves informed. If you live in New York, you guys have to fight this at the ballot box, dude, and make it too big to rig. The community outreach has to happen. Get people registered. Don't let your state fall to these fucking parasites, dude. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and leave it there for you guys. I'm tired. I want to call it a night. Make sure you guys follow us on X and Facebook. Subscribe to us here on YouTube at Wolfpack Media 92, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.